Start it up.
That wasn't supposed to happen. Cheap Not Broke fam, what's going on, everybody? Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I don't know what the hell happened to my Wednesday rant graphic. This is supposed to be there, but anyway, it is what it is. Thank you all for tuning back into the channel. It is Wednesday, and it is our Wednesday rant. Time for our Wednesday rant, as you already know. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get it going. So tonight's topic, if you haven't seen it, talking about tonight, keep your car repaired. Man. Keep your car repaired. It'll save you so much money. It'll save you so much time. I'm not for car payments. I'm not a car payment person. I don't like them. Not into that. No. I mean, I understand you got to get a nice running car, but I mean, hey, man, you run that thing long because it's going to go. Take care of your car. And the reason why I'm going to break this down tonight, I used to work at AutoZone and O'Reilly's, and I used to change tires and oil. So I have quite a bit of experience getting cars, repairing cars, doing all that good stuff. But some of these small little things will keep your car running. Speaking of which, I got to change my spark plugs this weekend, so that's partially why I'm bringing this up in the first place. But anyway, here we go. So, all right, now, if you don't know, a lot of people don't take care of their cars. And certain cars just don't do well over time. I don't know if you noticed this or not. I've talked about this on before. We've talked about this on this channel. But I'm bringing this up because tax returns are coming up. People are going to get extra money. And rather than just going off squandering the money, why don't you get your car repaired? Get some things fixed. But anyway, some cars last longer than others. This is the fact. This is a fact. I can tell you right now. You can go see a Honda. You'll see a 80s Honda or 80s Toyota riding around right now on the street. Those cars work very well. 4 cylinders, Toyota Camrys, Toyota Corollas, Honda Civics, Honda Accords. 4 best running cars in my opinion, if you had to ask me. I see these cars all over the place still running. I just saw a 1992 Camry the other day. That thing is still running. 1992, running great. Now, what do you not see? You don't see a lot of 90s Chevrolets riding around, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, GMs. See a couple Saturns here and there. But some cars you don't see. American cars don't hold up well. They just don't. Chevys, Chevys, Fords, they don't. And if you travel at all, if you do any traveling at all, go anywhere, do anything of that nature, you'll notice you don't see Fords and Chevys across out of the country. You just don't see them. You don't. I don't see them. I never see them, especially because a lot of those cars outside of the country are small. You need a very small car. So American cars don't sell very well outside the country. Number one. Number two, they just they don't hold up very well. But anyway, let's get into it. Some of the things, number one, okay, 5 things that you can do to keep your car repaired so you don't have to save money. You don't have to spend all that money. Number one, easiest thing on number one, change your oil. Change your oil. You got to change your oil, baby. You got to keep the oil changed in the car. You got to keep the oil changed in the car. You got to. Some people, and it's well, not now. It used to cost less money, but now it costs more. People, oil change used to cost you $20. Nah, you want to get synthetic oil. Some cars take synthetic. Some cars take conventional oil. It's a difference in price. Synthetic's going to cost you more than conventional. Anyway, synthetic is going to cost you, it used to be like $40. Now it's going to cost you about $70. Oil change for me, if I do it and I buy everything myself, it run me about $50. If I pay somebody to do it, it costs me about $75. I stopped. So what I stopped doing was, so I used to go, I go get my oil changed at this car place, at this service place where I get my car changed, oil changed. Anyway, they give you 4 quarts included. The extra quart of oil is $15. I got hip to them. So I said, okay, they did that last time I was there. So what did I do? I bought me an extra quart of oil for $5. I said, hey, here, I know my car takes an extra quart of oil. Put that in there. Am I paying an extra $15 for a quart of oil? No, and I'm getting the one out the store for $7. I'm not doing that. Just put this in there and call it a day. No, I'm not putting the extra oil in there, or I'll just tell them put the 4 in there. Well, we can't do that. Well, fine, just put the 4 in there. I'll add it myself after I leave here. No problem. But I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. But anyway, once you keep your oil changed, your oil keeps your car lubricated. If you don't have oil in the motor, it's going to seize up, lock up, or the motor's just going to stop working because all that exorbitant amount of heat will not let it do so. So, if you don't change your oil, it'll get really thick and gunky in there, and it'll mess up your motor. Or if you don't have any oil, it's going to lock up and seize, and you're not going to have any motor at all. Then you got to get your motor repaired. You got to get a whole new motor in the car, and your average new motor costs about $3,000 and up. That's the motor. That's not installed. That's not labor. Here's the labor. You got to take the old motor out. Got to pay for that. Got to put the new motor in. Got to pay for that. Those are a lot of man hours. They charge you by the hour. You got to pay for all that. And then if you get the motor, they get the motor for you. They're going to probably mark it up. Therefore and therefore. So forth and so on. But getting an oil change is very, very easy to do. Listen, getting an oil change, even if you don't know, look, pull your dipstick. Some people don't even check their oil. You need to pull the dipstick every now and then because sometimes people's cars' oils leak. If you have an older car, it might leak oil. It can have a couple of different things. When you do this, pull the dipstick and you look at it. It should look like grease. When you're frying grease, when you fry something, you pour it in there, it's green, it's nice and golden. Very clear. You can see through it. As that oil gets old, just like in the car, it gets dark and dirty. Excuse me. It gets dark and dirty, and then after that, you got to change it. So you just pull the dipstick out and look at it. Now, some cars go between, I would say your average oil change is between 3,000 and 5,000 miles. You can go 3,000 and 5,000 miles without getting your oil changed. Or some people just do it every once a quarter, get their oil changed. Whatever the case may be, I wouldn't change my oil until it gets a little dark. You don't want to just be spending all your money on oil. But it's one of the easiest things you can do and prevent damage to your car. It's one of the things that you have to do. You have to change the oil. You can't have a car. You're not going to have a car too long without changing the oil. It's just not going to happen. So, with that being said, that's number one. Make sure you keep the oil in the car changed. Number two, another way to keep your car running is the tune-up. The tune-up. What does the tune-up include? Tune-up includes changing spark plugs and wires. If you have wires, if not, you might have ignition coils. So you have to change spark plugs, wires, or ignition coils. Depends. Now, ignition coils don't change as often as spark plugs. You definitely want to change your wires because wires don't cost that much. So if you got spark plugs, you want to change the wires. Excuse me. Damn. You want to change the spark plugs and wires. Also, you want to change the air filter. Your air filter is the one to get changed. Your air filter is how your air. Your car runs off of air. Every car you see has a grill in the front. So when you're driving, it's forcing air into the motor because the air creates combustion. Without combustion, there is no motor. So you need combustion in the car. So you need combustion in there. And with that being said, you get the car going. Without no air, no combustion. Therefore, what the air filter does, it keeps the particles and the filth from going into the motor because the motor is sucking in air, and the air filter, if you pull it and it's dirty, it's no good, you see all that crap in there. Now, you can save yourself some money. You can also beat that air filter, bam, 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 and clean it out. You can get your air hose and blow it out too. So you don't have to change it all the time. You can just blow it out. Now, sometimes they just get thrashed. They get really dirty and a lot of stuff in there. But maybe, the first time you pull it out, probably want to check it every 6 months, twice a year. You check it, blow it out. Then the summer with a filter. The winter, buy a new one. And there you go. You want to change your air filter. Also, keep your car running very well. You want to check your belts and your hoses. You got serpentine belts. You got alternator belts. Serpentine belt, alternator belt, power steering belt. So you got different belts. Now, of course, with all these electric cars, you got different things. But you got belts. Over time, the belts in the car crack. They're Teflon, and the heat, and over time they get brittle and they crack. Now you definitely don't want the belt to break because that'll tear some stuff up. You don't want that, but you do want to change the belt. The belt needs to get changed. Get the belt changed. Just look at it now. You can take a light and look at it and to see the health of the belt. See how that looks. Next, uh, hoses. Radiator hose. You got a top hose and a bottom hose on most cars. You got a top radiator hose, bottom radiator hose. You squeeze the hose. Hose should be firm. It shouldn't be soft. If it gets really soft, it can bust. It can go bad. So you want to make sure the hoses are good. Keep nice, clean, good hoses on the car. And there you go. Keep your hoses up. That's the tune-up. What else is the tune-up? Well, also the oil change. I mean, it could be included in the tune-up, but it's not. Check your distributor cap, rotor cap, all those things. But the tune-up. Number 2 is the tune-up. The tune-up. I just went through what the tune-up entails, but those are the things you want to keep it up. Keep your car running. 3, you got to check the fluids, not just the oil, radiator fluid, brake fluid, power steering fluid, windshield washer fluid. Now, will these things deter the car immediately? No, but over time, you need these fluids. You need power steering fluid. That's how the car turns, because you have a power steering pump. The power steering pump pumps oil into the system to allow it to keep on going. Hello, son. Hello. Phil's Hall 4749. Thank you for watching. Thank everybody for watching. We appreciate you. But yeah, your fluids. You want to keep your fluids up nice, running well. You don't want to keep. You don't want your brake fluid. You don't want that to get too dirty. You know. Just change your fluids out every now and then. Now look, cars go a long time. Cars go a long time without you having to change things and swap things out. They work a while, but you still have a point where a car gets old. Cars last 20 years. You think you're going to keep the same parts on this car for 20 years and not have any issues? No, you're not. Definitely want to get that stuff changed. Check your fluids. Make sure your fluids, and get your fluids topped off. You can usually get them topped off at, oh man, you can leak a little bit. You can get your fluids topped off at, Jiffy Lube and all these other places. Just go get them topped off. Don't cost you too much. Number 4, tires. Tires and brakes. Tires and brakes are very, very important. You definitely want to keep your tires inflated, because if you ride on half deflated tires, it'll wear out the tread, and then you'll be buying new tires faster than what you intended to. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want the tires to last you a long time. So keep your tires properly inflated. It'll definitely save you some money. Now, is it going to determine how long you keep the car? Not really, but it damn sure determines how long you keep your tires and how often you have to buy those tires. Tires aren't cheap. A good tire is about $90 and up. A used tire nowadays it costs you $65. A good 4 set of tires costs you about $400, maybe a little less than that. If you get, sometimes you buy 4, get 1 free. Depends. Buying tires also, you have to get them balanced. You have to get the wheels rotated and balanced. When you do have tires, if you want them to last longer, you want to get your tires rotated. You take the front tires, put them in the back, and bring the back tires in the front so they wear evenly. Check your tires and your brakes. You got to get your brakes now. You can tell your brakes start squeaking, start feeling funny, start feeling grind. That's another thing. Now, if you know how to check brakes, you can just look in there and see where the brake pad is. You look behind the caliper, and then you got the pad in there. You can take a flashlight to see where your brake pads are. Not in the back sometimes. Now, sometimes people got brake pads in the back. A lot of people got drums in the back. So if you got drums in the back of your car, you can't see that. You got to take the wheel off, but, hit the drum and take it off and see where the brake pads are at. Because if you got drum brakes, drum brakes are different than the non-drum brake. I forget what they're called. But your front brakes are usually not drum brakes. Your drum brakes are in the back. Anyway, here or there, get your brakes, your tires checked. Help keep your car running longer. Help save you a little bit of money. And another thing about tires. Learn how to check tires. You can get a thread. You can get you can check your thread. So this is how I know. I'm old school. I just stick my finger in between the thread. I just know it's not supposed to be like below your thumbnail, your nail. If it's below your nail, then your tires are getting a little low. Then you do something about that. But every now and then, just check the tread on the tires. Those grooves you have between the tires. That groove should be thick. You'll have the crack like this. It should be, there you go, crack like this. You should be able to stick it through. Stick your finger down in the groove. And when the tires get worn, the groove wears off. Because as the tires wear, that groove will wear off. And then there won't be no groove. It'll just be slick. And then that's when you know it's really time to change your tires. But you definitely need to do that. You can also, you don't have to always get 4 tires. You can get 2 tires at a time. Get 2, come back, get 2 the next pay period. That works too. But don't buy 2 this month and then come back into 2 6 months. 6 months from now, they're gonna be worn. You want to try to change them all at the same time so they wear evenly. You want to make sure they wear evenly. Very, very, very important thing to do. Okay. Third thing, fifth thing to do to make sure how to keep your car repaired is keep gas in it. Don't be riding around with your car. Don't be riding around with your car. Half E. It makes the fuel pump. The fuel pump pulls gas from the bottom of the tank, and then at the gas, sometimes you'll have trash in the gas. That stuff sits down at the bottom of the tank, and then when you let your gas get too low, that will be pulled up in the tank, and it'll mess up your fuel tank. Your fuel pump. Excuse me. Your fuel pump. You don't want to do that. So make sure you keep some gas in your car. Don't let it go all the way down. It's just not good. It's not safe either. You don't want to run out of gas on the side of the road. Somebody got to come pick your ass up. Now you're stuck. You don't need that. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. Keep yourself in good shape. These are things, some simple things that you can do to keep your car repaired. Keep it running nice and sound. Keep it running good, Because like I said, man, car payments are expensive. I think what are the interest rates on cars right now? What are car interest rates? Let me see. What are car loan interest rates? Let's see. I think between 3 and 5%. Okay, new car loans between 6.5 and 7% for me buyers. Used are higher, often 10 to 11%. So you're paying more in interest for a used car than a new car. That's crazy. So subprime, a super prime be 4.9, and 7. Used car 7.4. That's a 781 and 850. 661 to 780, 6.5. 9.7 used. These are the interest rates. Non-prime 601 to 660. 9.8. 14%. Remember, super prime 781 to 850. They're paying 4.9. Non-prime, you're paying 9.8. You're getting up close to double. You're paying double what they're paying in interest. Subprime 501 to 600. 13.3%. New car 19%. You're paying 19% on a subprime, a new car, on a used car. That's fucking crazy. Deep prime 300 to 500. 15.9%. 21% APR. It's a lot of money. 20% on a used car. You're better off saving your money and going to get some cash. You're better off. Why would pay 20% on the used car? You can go just buy a cash car. I'm all for the cash car. If you're a person that cares what you drive and how you're riding around, that's different. But everybody don't care about that. That's not a big deal to everybody. And look, it depends on where you're at financially. Because you still, even when the car payment goes away, you still got insurance. You still got registration every year and gas. Insurance and gas are every month. Registration is once a year. You got to pay for the tag. So you can't get away. You can't get out free. But however, you don't want to be on the hook for a new car, paying all this money in interest, and it can mess up your credit. If you don't have insurance, just don't pay it. Now, you're going to have some problem with the law, but it's not going to mess with your credit. So I wouldn't advise you to drive around with no insurance. I would not tell you to. That's not a good idea. But I'm just saying the consequences are a lot. Well, no, they're the same. They're the same. But, I'm just saying, no insurance is not going to affect your credit. Are the consequences the same, similar? Yes, they are. But we don't want to find out what that is in the first place anyway. All right. Wednesday rant. That's what we got going. If you got any questions or want to know anything, please drop a comment. I'm going to go to break real quick, and we'll be right back. Very much appreciated. Okay, so we're talking cars tonight. We're talking how to keep your car repaired to save you some money. Because, man, I'm telling you, when car repairs show up, they come out of nowhere. And they just really, really cost you. Oh, man, what was my last real big car repair I had to get done? I had to get something done to the fucking car. What did I have to get done? Was it tires? I had to replace a windshield. That wasn't immediate, but I had to replace my windshield. I got to replace my spark plugs. this weekend. You know me, I do most of my own work on my own car. I don't do too much. I don't change the oil. It's not worth it to me. But a lot of other stuff, I do it myself. Oh yes, what happened recently? So my trunk hatch, my trunk lift got, I don't know, it got snatched out somehow. Excuse me. I couldn't open the trunk from the inside. I had to use the key fob. So got on YouTube, figured it out, took 10 minutes, bam, done with that, no problem. Oh yes, I remember what happened now. My brake lights went out. They went out at the same time, which is not normal. They're on different circuits. So I initially thought, oh snap, my brake switch is out. just being too smart for your own good. I thought my brake switch was out, or it could have been the wiring harness, which is not the easiest thing to do. So I'm like, damn, let me go look and go buy a new brake switch. Not at all. Not at one point in time did I say, you know what, let me change the bulbs first. If I would have changed the bulbs, it would have cost me a few dollars. I would have been in and out of there. I went and brought a brake switch, bought all this other stuff, looking up how to fix brake switches. And I said, did you change the light bulbs? I'm like, no, I didn't check the light bulbs. You should check the light bulbs first. You know, it's easy. Well, no, I got on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, look, if the reverse lights are working, then it's not the brake switch. It's not the wiring harness. If there's no lights at all, it's not the brake switch. So I did have lights, I didn't have tail lights. So the process of elimination, I figured out what it was, got it fixed, saved myself some money. Ended up cost, the brake switch was like $30. Light bulbs were $4. I went from $30 down to $8. All because I went back and read and did research. You know, hey, if you got questions about your car, ChatGPT, Reddit, YouTube, great places to figure it out. Even if you're not a mechanic, you want to know what to do. You still want to know what the hell is going on. You don't want to be paying for stuff and not know what and why these things are happening. You don't want to deal with that. It's a pain in the butt. But I'm telling you, man, car trouble is no fun. It just pops up out of nowhere. And, yeah, it just pops up out of nowhere. And you got to deal with it. And then, you know, if you got to get to work, you got to go. I don't have an opportunity to not take care of this issue. It's got to get taken care of. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button and subscribe button if you are enjoying learning anything. If anything I talk about here on the Help Future Show, appreciate it. You know, all I get on here to do is help people out, just share my knowledge of the things I know to help other people financially. Yes, I'm an accountant. I work in the field, but shit, some of that stuff doesn't even matter. The average person doesn't care about a balance sheet or an income statement or a credit or a debit. You don't need that. You just need to know how I keep some money and don't go broke. That's what most people want to know. ChatGPT saving dollars one question at a time. You're damn right it is. ChatGPT has saved me a lot of money. ChatGPT has saved me tons of money. And it can save you some money too. Definitely get on there, ask the questions, know what you need to know. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep this thing on pushing. All right? So, we're going to get on over to what y'all like to call interesting news. Let's get to it. Doing right now. It's time for interesting news. All right, let's get into it. Let me show y'all. Let's look at the boom. There we go. All right, let's see. Feel a sneeze coming on. One second. You know when that sneeze comes up and you feel like it's about to jump on you and it don't? That's what I felt like. And now I feel like it's coming back. But anyway, we're going to deal with it. Dow surges nearly 600 points after Trump announces Greenland framework drops tariff threat. The stock market bounced back from its worst day since October on Wednesday after President Trump said he reached the framework of a deal about Greenland, an island he's long coverted and won't impose tariffs if he had threatened on several European countries. The blue chip Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed nearly 600 points, 1.2%, to close at 49,723. The S&P 500 gave 1.2%, and the Nasdaq advanced 1.2% or 270 points. Trump said the deal, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and its allies of the North Atlantic region. His announcement triggered an immediate move higher in the stock market, which had found some solstice earlier in the day. That's crazy. A guy can make one statement and it ups the prices up and down. That's how volatile the stock market is. Crazy. You know what? I always think about it. Some of these CEOs, they commit crimes and do stuff too, but you never hear about it in the news. Why? It will affect the stock price. You never really hear any stories or any news articles on anybody who what they would do would affect the stock price. I just think that's such a coincidence. Oh. Alcohol brands could be forced to sell inventory as industry giant declares bankruptcy. Alcohol giant Stoli Group USA LLC and Kentucky Owl LLC are liquidating their inventory in the U.S. after struggling to reorganize their business after Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The creditors are no longer believe the companies can successfully fix their finances and keep operating under Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is meant to reorganize a business and keep it running, according to court documents obtained by Fox. In turn, the creditors are formally requesting a court order to end the company's Chapter 11 reorganization and instead move the cases to Chapter 7, which means it would sell off all its assets to pay its debt. Stoli Group is best known for its U.S. Stoli vodka brand. Stoli, that's them. I don't drink that stuff. Kentucky Alcohol is a bourbon label that has won industry accolades but struggling with rising costs and slowing demand in recent years. People clearly aren't drinking as much. The Stoli Group's U.S. entities filed for bankruptcy protection in November 2024 in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, Northern District of Texas. Yes, I've been reading a lot about that people are not drinking as much as they used to, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I see people have a drink here and there, but, I guess people are valuing their health a lot more than what they used to. They're not sitting around drinking as much. I hear this is more millennials and Gen Z, but who knows? Who knows? But the alcohol brands are still on your ass. They spend big dollars in advertising, trying to get you to buy more and more and more. Factory makes that Lincoln logos go close after setting off frantic search for new manufacturer. Oh, I remember Lincoln Logs. I used to play with Lincoln Logs. Y'all remember Lincoln Logs? Manufacturer that makes Lincoln Logs to close, setting off frantic search for new manufacturer. Lincoln Logs are among a handful of classic toys made in USA with American trees, but they are likely to change in a matter of weeks. Pride Manufacturing, manufacturer that makes Lincoln Logs and other wood products, is closing in April after losing the biggest contract to make the cigar tips for another company. The Post has learned that this leaves the toy maker basic fun scratching. That leaves the toy maker basic fun scrambling to find a new factory manufactured a century-old brand that was founded by Franklin Lloyd Wright's son, John, and has been a staple of the family's chest for decades, for years. Yes, Lincoln Logs. You see where they are? They connect like this. I remember Lincoln Logs. I used to play with Lincoln Logs. Lincoln Logs are a good time. Good time. Well, hopefully they find a new manufacturer. I wouldn't hate to see them go out of business, but hey, business is business. What business is what business is. Hold on. Yeah, we want to see them go back in business, but hell, kids got all iPads and all these other things nowadays. So who's to say the demand is still there for Lincoln Logs? Not sure. Beloved California-born Java chain set to shutter multiple locations amid $18 billion takeover. I've never had this Pete's Coffee. Beloved California, a more than 3-decade-old outpost of California Java chain Pete's Coffee is expected to close as the company received an $18 billion takeover of the beloved brand. The shop in Francisco's Polk Gulch neighborhood will close permanently by the end of the month, along with more locations in the Berkeley-born brand follow, Pete's spokesman told SF Gate. These closures reflect a broader effort to align our business with our long-term growth priorities and current market conditions, spokesperson Stephanie O'Brien said. Who's buying them? We're deeply grateful to our employees and our loyal customers for their continued commitment to the brand. Now, these people are going to lose their job. They're not gonna lose their job. The execs don't lose their job. As we move forward, we remain dedicated to the quality, craftsmanship, and the heritage that have defined Pete's for over 60 years, while embracing new opportunities and innovative grow. Pete's Outpost 919. Soda Giant Keurig Drug Pepsi is the process of Soda Giant Keurig Drug Pepsi is in the process of acquiring Pete's Coffee parent company JDE Pete's in all cash deal except to close sometime next year. So what does that mean? Are they gonna have Pepsi coffee with it? What are they gonna do? I came to the richest country in the world, but I don't care about none of that. What's gonna go happen? What are they gonna do with the coffee? Coffee lovers have endured rising prices for years, according to Toast report and track quota costs nationwide. Los Angeles and San Francisco have had some of the highest median coffee rises across the nation. $4.99 in LA, $4.92 in San Francisco. So I don't drink that shit. It costs too much. I don't drink no damn coffee. You better make that stuff at home, wasting all your money on damn coffee. Why would you do that? Learn to make good coffee at home. I'm not doing that. Look, I got on this Starbucks kick for a little bit. I was going there. Let me tell you what I was doing. My goofy ass at the time. So, this is around the time when Bird State came out. Bird, the scooter company. Scooter company just came out. I used to catch a train to work. The job I was working with at that time. My job was 1 mile. 1 mile away from the train stop. So I used to walk 1 mile to the job and 1 mile back to get on the train. Bird came around. I said, shit, fuck that shit. I'm going to ride the Bird. Man, I got on that Bird 3 days. $5 there, $5 back. So $30. So $10 a day, $30 in 3 days. Oh, no. Not doing that. And on top of that, I was going by getting Starbucks. Because Starbucks was by there. I started getting to it. I'm like, this is nice. Let me get Starbucks. I'm spending $15 a day on a ride and coffee. 15, 30, 45, right? 60. You see where I'm going? 15, 2 rides, 5 and 5, coffee, rounded up, 5, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. I've been $75 a week. $75 a week. And this is just $5 a day. $5 a day. $75 a week. Now, it's so funny. Let's see. Let me do this math. Whoa. Where we at? 15. Where my calculator at? I want to share it. I want y'all to see it. Y'all can't see my calculator. Oh well. It's all good. Let's see. $15 a day times 5 equals 75 times 4 equals $300 a month. That would have cost me $300 a month if I would have kept that crazy shit up. Excuse my French. $300 a month. $3,600 a year. $5 a day. 5, 10, $15 a day. Excuse me. $15 a day. Let's just do $5 a day. 5 times 5 is 25. Times 4 equals 100. Times 12. $1,200 a day. If you spend $5 a day, that's $1,200 a year. And that's not $5 every day. That's $5 5 business days, Monday through Friday. That's $1,200 a year. That's crazy. But yet, people will spend that kind of money, but won't save it. People will go buy coffee every single day, but won't put $5 up. How about you match yourself? Every dollar you spend in coffee, you put $1 up. Why not? I started doing that. I started holding myself accountable. I said, listen, if I'm going to spend this money on leisure, I'm going to put this money up in investment. I can't put my financial future above. I can't put my financial future below what I'm spending. It doesn't make any sense. I'm buying all this stuff. All the money that you spent on travel last year, did you save any of it? You spent $3,000 traveling. Did you save any? I did. I don't just be traveling and not put no money back. That's stupid. But the same money you spend, can you challenge yourself to put it up? It adds up over time. $1,200 a year. Let's say you're just putting $5 a day. $365, $65 times 5, say $5 a day. That's $1,825 times 10. $1,825. It's $18,000 in 10 years. Most people are never going to see $18,000 at a one time. You got to save it. You got to hold on to it. You got to do all, it's a whole nother thing. But you can do it. Just like I'm talking about with the car. You can do it. That money that you're not making in the car payment, you can put it up and save it. Invest it. The goal for me, my goal is to live off the interest. I want to have a couple, like 7, 8 $20 million in the bank, and I draw that money every month to live off of it. That's what I want to do. That's the goal. But, of course, I'm going to get savvy with it because I don't want to pay all them taxes, because you do pay taxes on dividends. So I don't want to deal with all that. But anyway, overall, I'm trying to live off my money. Your money, you listen to me, you will never outwork your money. Nobody can. No human being can ever outwork money. It's not possible. Why? Because money don't sleep. Money don't even got to do nothing. You got to get in your car and you got to spend your time to make money. Your money just collects money at the end of the month, every year. Every end of the month. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And more money I make, the more money I get paid. The more money you put in the bank, the more you make in interest. Everybody should have a high yield savings account. Drop a comment. Drop a comment. Here, drop a Y. If you have a high yield savings account or a money market or something that's paying you interest on your money, drop a comment. If anybody, can you drop a Y? Let me know. Does everybody have a high yield or some type of account that pays you interest? Let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear about that. I would like to know. That's on my screen. I keep thinking that's on. I saw some on my screen. I thought it was in my head. I said, "What? I got a booger in my head." But yeah. But overall, all these things laid back to saving money and doing what you would with your money. Okay, you can't give all your money away. And when you get this car, sometimes you're giving your money away. You're paying all this money in interest. Did you really need that? Are you buying a car because it makes you feel good, or are you buying a car because it'll get you where you want to go? Phil Hall, yay, got a high interest rate. 49, got one, got a Y. Yes, got a high yield interest. Anybody else? Does everybody else have a high yield savings account, money market, or some type of vehicle to pay you money? Yes. Why? Yes. Trying to fight this something. Yes. Everybody needs a 5 step. You know what? That's tomorrow's subject. We're gonna go tomorrow. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. Bam. There it is. There it is. Tomorrow. I don't have enough yeses, and I don't like it. So tomorrow, I'm going to break down. If you're watching right now, I'm going to break down. We're going to go find some high yield savings account. We're going to look for some things, some vehicles where you can place your money and it'll pay you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that tomorrow. So come in tomorrow, high yield savings account. That's what we're on tomorrow. All right? Boom. I'm going to end it right there. Tomorrow, we're on a high yield savings account. Thank you, Shauna 5738. Thank you, Phyllis Hall 4749. For tuning in, dropping your comments. We are always appreciated. Thank you, everybody else who's watching. Thank you to our viewer on Twitch. You are very much appreciated. And I will get back. I got to get back on Facebook so we can go back live on Facebook as well. But yes, tomorrow, high yield savings account. You heard it here first. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're going to do. We're going to find some places where you can park your money and it will pay you, because you should be getting paid for your money. All right? Boom. That's where we're at. Tomorrow night, we're back at it. Tune back in 6:30. We will be on time. We're starting on time tomorrow, 6:30 PST. No BS. We're starting on time tomorrow, 6:30 PST. So I will have this up long before. I'm going to have this up long before. Share it with a friend. Let's try to get about 15, 20 people in here tomorrow. Let's try to get some people in here tomorrow. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. So let's get some people in here tomorrow so we can all talk about how we can save money, make more money, and stick it to the man. That's what we want to do. All right? This has been Cheap Not Broke. I'm your host, Malcolm. Thank you all for tuning back in. It's always a pleasure to speak to you all and see you all, because if you guys weren't here, I'll just be a dude on here talking to myself. Thank you, and we'll be back tomorrow. See ya.